This is Chris, the Idaho Painter, here on Paint Live TV. This is a two-part series of how I go about staining a deck and recoating concrete. And the first part is going to be properly preparing it. So we've got some power washing and pressure washing tools that we're going to get out here and prep this thing with. And I'm going to show you how I go about properly cleaning this deck, getting in between the cracks and everything, and make sure this thing is thoroughly clean before we go about the staining process. It's got a solid color stain. We're going to be putting a solid color stain on the deck itself. The concrete, we're going to be doing a clear coat on this concrete. So part one is the prepping process of both of them. Part two is going to be the staining and clear coating process. So I'm going to show you some really unique tools when it comes to pressure washing concrete in a deck that's going to help you out, make the process a lot faster and more efficient. So stay tuned for this video. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, at the end of this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, ring that bell. If you don't ring that bell, you'll never get notified every time I come out with a new video. It's free, simple, and easy to do. And don't forget, down in the video description below, there's a comment section. If you got any questions or comments about this video, just leave them in the comment section below. I would like to read what you have to say, and I'm sure the viewers, if you got any pointers, they would like to read it too. And you can also find the tools and accessories we're using in this video down in the video description below. But enough of this, let's get on with part one, prepping our deck and concrete to stain it and clear coat it. So I'm going to get started here, pressure washing and cleaning this deck. I'm going to show you a few of the tools that I use when it comes to cleaning decks to make the process a little bit easier. I'm going to have to pull off everything off the deck here behind me, get it all off out of the way because I don't want to get any dirt and debris on any of the furniture or anything like that, or the tools. Don't want to get anything wet on the deck. But I've got a Mighty M. This is an all surface cleaner, and this thing is absolutely amazing. It has two rotating spray nozzles underneath it, and so it spins and it rotates, and it makes cleaning a deck and a concrete surface a lot faster. It's significantly faster cleaning, and then one of the really cool benefits about it is it rotates, so you're not going to leave any type of striping, you know, on your concrete or your deck that you might get with a flat nozzle. And I'll tell you why I use a rotating nozzle too. Is a rotating nozzle, an agitating nozzle, it won't leave any of that striping either. But this isn't going to leave any striping, which is very critical when it comes to just, if you're just cleaning concrete itself that doesn't have any types of staining or anything on it. But this is a tool right here. It's several $100s for this all surface cleaner. It's a tool that'll pay for itself the first time you use it. It's absolutely amazing. I always have a 5-in-1 in my pocket too, because when it comes to a decks invariably in the cracks, you're going to have like rocks, you could have some nails, you could have leaves, just debris in between the slats of the deck that the power washer won't get out, and it's easy just to scrape and release those with a 5-in-1 tool. So I got a 2-edge knife 5-in-1. This is my favorite 5-in-1 tool. I absolutely love this thing. I also have two guns. One of them, if I have to do anything where I've got to reach and spray at an angle, this thing is actually really good for like cleaning gutters and stuff like that. It's called a Spray Flex. It's a 5,000 PSI flexible end that you can flex it any way you want and attach your nozzle to the end. It's a Spray Flex. So I typically have that with me. This is a gun. I've got a rotating nozzle, and a lot of people have seen me use this nozzle. This is a 5,000 PSI rotating nozzle, and what it does is it actually spins. And there's a lot of people that are saying you're just tearing up fences, you're tearing up the house. If you use this thing properly, it's a very effective tool. If you don't know how to use it, you could damage the siding on the house and you could damage a fence. But the reason why we use this, that rotating motion, it actually agitates the dirt and debris and makes it faster to clean. So it cleans better, cleans faster and more efficient. Absolutely amazing nozzle. I've been using one of these things for probably 12 to 15 years, and I've never actually destroyed a house or a fence with it. When it comes to the wood fences, when we're staining fences, the rough sawn cedar fences up here, and they're rough sawn, so we want to strip off a layer of that wood because it's rough to begin with. These nozzles are great for doing that. A rotating nozzle, that's a Mighty M rotating nozzle, 5,000 PSI. Mighty M all surface cleaner, and then I've got a Mighty M pressure washer right here, then got my standard hose. But there we go, we're gonna get ready, get everything off this deck and do the prepping and cleaning process now. A few handy tips when it comes to pressure washing and cleaning your deck. You want to just keep a safe distance away from your substrate, and that's going to be your deck in this case. If you're using a wand, a rotating nozzle, just keep that nozzle a safe distance away from the deck. And I'm going to say about 3 feet. Work yourself down towards the surface to about a foot, and you'll start to get a feel for it where it's actually going to damage the surface versus just clean the surface. So like I say, just start far away and work yourself to the deck. One thing you want to be aware of is while you're cleaning the deck, get all the leaves and debris out of the gaps, in between the planks or the deck itself. A lot of do-it-yourselfers will have a tendency to miss leaves and debris, in between the gaps and stuff. And then when you're staining it, it's just not going to look professional if all those gaps and cracks aren't cleaned very good. Using the all-surface cleaner, just keep that thing at a steady pace. Just move it along slow and steady and overlap about 50%. If you don't have an all-surface cleaner, you can't afford to buy one, you can get them from rental yards, and they're very inexpensive to rent for a day, and it's not going to take you, more than a couple of hours to do all your cleaning. You can do your driveway, you can do your walkways, and you can do your deck in a couple of hours and get that thing back. When it's all said and done, everything's all clean, I would sit back and let the thing dry. It's typically going to dry pretty fast. If it's summertime, invariably you're going to see some spots that you missed, and just go back, hit those spots, because you're going to see some possibly dirty spots. Once it dries, you'll see clean versus dirty. Just hit those spots that you missed and then let it dry again, and you're ready to get on with the coating after it's all dry. Okay, we got our pressure washing all done. The deck is dried for about 2 days now. Now we're gonna do some things to tidy up the deck before doing our solid color stain. Now this deck's probably got about 5 different coats of solid color stain on it, and it's also very worn out. We've got a lot of loose screws, broken boards. So we're gonna try to do some fixing and tidying up some of the loose screws and then sanding some of the rough edges before we do the staining. I've got a 5-inch disc sander, an Ecosand sander right here. I'm gonna be using some 80 grit sandpaper. We do got some areas that were nicked and dinged up. It's gonna look a lot better if we go ahead and sand those things. And then I got some loose screws and some loose boards, and we're gonna be screwing those back in just to tighten the deck up a little bit more. So we're gonna start doing some of the sanding right now. You can see that edge right there that was dinged up pretty good right there. Just quick sand, rounded that off, made it look a lot better. I'm gonna grab my respirator and finish up doing some of the sanding here. All right, so I'm gonna walk around the deck now. I've got some boards. You can see there's some loose boards. There's a lot of dry rotted boards. There's a lot of the stuff that really should be replaced on the deck, but it's not being replaced. So eventually, in I think 2 to 3 years, this whole deck's gonna be ripped out. So we're just trying to do some stuff, just to help secure boards if we can, and just to make it a little bit safer to walk on. So I'll see if I can find, just like that, I was able to secure that board down right there. Just using some construction screws to do this. Should be using like 2.5 to 3-inch construction screws, so that just secured that board down right there. So I'm just looking and pressing down on boards to see if I can find boards I can tighten up. I'm just gonna continue walking around, doing that around the entire deck. I'm gonna show you some screws that are popping up now that we're gonna try to just, those ones that are popping up, we'll actually remove those and replace them with new screws. So there you have it. That's the end of part one. Part two is coming up next. You'll have to stay tuned for that video. That's going to be how we go about staining this deck, and I'm going to give you all kinds of tips and tricks. If you haven't subscribed to us, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because if you don't do both, it doesn't do anything. The notification bell just allows you to get notified every time we come out with a new video. So subscribe, hit the like, give us a like, hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for part two. Hopefully you enjoyed part one. Out.